My daughter loves to go paragliding, where you're pulled behind a boat in a parachute. We do it every year at the Outer Banks. I believe that a big part of the reason my daughter loves it is she knows I hate it, because I am terrified of heights. But I love my daughter, and so I go paragliding with her. This tells you a lot about our relationship. I love my daughter, and so I do this thing she knows I hate. And I'm pretty sure me hating it is a big reason why she likes it. Dude, that's messed up. She's a good person, but she thinks my fear of heights is funny. And really, it kind of is. So I am afraid of heights. I didn't used to be. In my 20s, I used to go rock climbing all the time. I've been skydiving twice. Once as a hop and pop and once as a tandem jump. A hop and pop is where you jump out and your chute immediately opens so there's no free fall. And in a tandem jump, you free fall but you're attached to an instructor. In my 30s, I once went hot air ballooning and I had no problems. The last time I went rock climbing was about 15 years ago. I got about two-thirds of the way up the wall and I said, I think I'm good. I think this is high enough. Afraid of heights. Pshaw. Now I know I should face my fears. Exposure therapy. Desensitize myself by going to higher and higher places until it doesn't bother me anymore. Conquer my fear of heights, and I will be a better, stronger person. But the thing about being afraid of heights is it causes me no inconvenience whatsoever. I don't like heights, so I don't do high places. It's just not a problem. So, what is so scary about heights? And again, I didn't used to be afraid. When I'm high up, like on a ski lift or at the top of a lighthouse, there's a little voice in my head that says, you should jump. But then I think, but I don't want to jump because then I would die. And the little voice says, yeah, but you should jump. If I'm paragliding, the little voice in my head says, you should slip out of this harness and just drop. I bet you at this height, hitting the ocean would be like hitting pavement. So am I crazy? Well, maybe. But if I am, it's actually a very common form of craziness. The French even have an eloquent phrase for it. L'appel du vide is a French phrase that translates to the call of the void. It refers to the feeling of being high up and looking down with the urge to jump into the abyss. It can also refer to any compulsive urge to do something self destructive. Ironically, I'm not afraid of flying. If I'm on a plane, whether it crashes, whether it doesn't crash, totally out of my control, so I do not care. I'm not kidding, I often fall asleep during takeoff. I know people that are terrified of flying, but my mind is like, you die, you don't die, it's all good. But there's something about heights, about having control and having the option of doing something stupid and irreversible that causes me and many other people anxiety. Call of the void is also known as high place phenomenon or HPP, which is not nearly as cool of a name. A study 10 years ago noted that although people who have suicidal thoughts are more likely to experience HPP, half of people who don't otherwise have suicidal thoughts experience the call of the void. Many people have the urge to jump when they're on a balcony, but there are other manifestations of HPP. Some people have intrusive thoughts about jerking the steering wheel and driving their car into oncoming traffic, or jumping in front of a train, or cutting themselves with a knife, or sticking their hand in the garbage disposal. Yikes. The interesting thing about HPP is that you would never actually do the thing, but it still causes you stress. Why do some people experience such unnerving impulses? What drives this seemingly irrational thinking? To understand the call of the void, we must delve into the complex workings of the human psyche, and we discover nobody really knows. Your brain is a lump of meat with electricity running through it. It's amazing it works at all. Don't expect it to work well. Okay, let's see if we can come up with a better explanation than that. At its core, the call of the void may reflect an innate tension between our instinct for self preservation and our fascination with death. It's a confrontation with the fragility of life. In those moments when we feel the pull of the void, we are reminded of our mortality, of the thin line that separates existence from oblivion. It forces us to confront our own vulnerabilities, and in doing so, ideally, it compels us to cherish the moments we have, to embrace life with all its complexities and uncertainties. Now, you might think, I do not have these feelings at all. You might think, dude, you are just nuts. The call of the void, l'appel du vide. Well, it's possible I am just crazy, but if I am, a lot of French people are too, or at least enough that they created a cool phrase for it, and I take comfort in that.